Alright, so a couple of days ago, when Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl, people started to discuss who is the GOAT of GOATs. And a lot of names were brought up. Muhammad Ali, Tom Brady, obviously, Michael Jordan. But from what I saw, no baseball player was brought up. And I started wondering why that is. But then I started thinking, well, who is the GOAT of baseball? It's not something that's frequently discussed. I mean, if you go on Instagram and you follow any basketball pages, you're bound to see a LeBron Jordan argument at some point in the day. But I don't know if I've literally ever discussed who's the GOAT of baseball. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing why don't we talk about this, and the next video that I'm making will be deciding who my GOAT is. So yeah. So I came up with 3 reasons as to why people don't discuss the GOAT, and since I'm an analytical nerd and just a nerd in general, I decided to test these theories mathematically. And yeah, so the first reason that I thought people don't discuss who the GOAT of baseball is just the simple fact that each person on a baseball team matters less than people on most sports teams because there's 9 people on the field at all times. Alright, so to calculate someone's worth going across sports, I looked at the winning percentage increase just from a team getting one big piece either from free agency or from a trade, and seeing how it affected their win percentage. I know I already said that, so I don't know why I'm saying it again, but whatever, I'm just going to roll with it. So the graph is on the screen right now, and as you can see, the highest win increase was 300% when it comes to basketball, while it was only 100% when it comes to baseball. There are actually, I believe, 3 basketball signings or trades. As you can see, Michael Jordan's up there. Obviously, he wasn't traded, but that is just picked up from the draft is what I was trying to say with that. And there's 3 out of the 5 basketball signings had a bigger impact than the highest signing in baseball, which was the Justin Verlander trade to the Astros. So I thought this was kind of interesting. There's a couple of reasons why I think this is. One of those reasons was, like I said earlier, how there's just more people on a baseball field, so each one of them has a smaller role. The other reason that I think is because if you're very good in basketball, you can take 30 shots in a game, but in baseball, you're only going to get the same 3 or 4 at-bats that everyone else on your team is going to get. So, yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting, and I do think this is a big reason why people don't talk about the GOAT debate in baseball. Alright, so we're now on reason 2 of why people don't discuss the GOAT when it comes to baseball. And I thought this was probably because there's just such a big difference statistically throughout decades. And baseball's been around for so long, there's been so many eras, the steroid era, the dead ball era, that it's just so hard to compare stats. So I made this graph here that shows the amount of home runs and the average throughout the league from 6 different years. I have it from 1920, 1940, 1960, 1980, 2000, and 2010. I didn't want to put 2020 just because, well, it was a 60-game season. But yeah, as you can see, it's basically every 20 years. And average doesn't really fluctuate that much, which really surprised me, because I figured that in the early days of baseball, people weren't really trying to hit home runs. They're just kind of putting their bat out there. But no, the average is pretty static. I do believe 1920 was the highest average we have here, but it's not by a lot. Alright, next let's go over home runs. And here you see a massive, massive difference. See, in 1920, they didn't even hit 1,000 home runs the entire season. Yet in the 2000s, they hit nearly 6,000. Granted, there were steroids there, but you can see the entire time there's an upwards track, which makes you think either it's really impressive that Babe Ruth was able to hit so many home runs back then because either the bat technology wasn't good enough, the balls were like rocks, or it just makes you think that people weren't strong back then, or people just weren't hitting for power. So it's kind of a weird situation where you don't really know if it's because of the equipment, because of what they were trying to do, or because of the skill level in that era. So yeah, this is another reason. Especially the dead ball era, I think, is a big, big reason why people don't discuss the GOAT in baseball. So the third reason is not analytical at all, and thus I don't have a graph for it. But a couple of days ago, I was thinking, there's pitchers and there's position players. The position players have an impact on offense and defense, while the pitchers don't have any impact on offense, yet have a huge impact on defense. And there's just no way to really compare them. I mean, having a GOAT of baseball is almost having like a football, basketball GOAT, because there's just no way to compare pitchers and baseballs. So I think when I do my deciding who the GOAT is, I'm going to have a pitcher GOAT and a baseball GOAT. Maybe words, I just said baseball. Wow, that was horrific. Okay, a pitcher and a batter GOAT. Maybe at the end I'll find a way to compare them to each other, but I highly doubt it. And truly, that's a big issue. If there has to be two GOATs, then there truly isn't a GOAT, because greatest of all time is one person. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said earlier, the next video that's coming out, I'm going to be declaring who my baseball GOAT is. I am probably going to put that out, I hope, Tuesday, but I'm going on a little vacation, so if it's not out on Tuesday, it'll most likely not be out until the week after. But yeah, keep a lookout. Hope you enjoyed.